Hi everyone, I'm Simmer here. So welcome back to Real Economy Trucking, Euro style. We're doing this in Europe. We're running a Real Economy mod along with the Promods update. And at this point, our best option is the 1.63 euros per kilometer. Is the highest price per distance out of this location. Looks like a reasonable run, 336 kilometers, so I'm going to take this one. Alright, so we have 14 hours till the job expires, so we should be fine for taking that. I'm taking a yacht, which we haven't taken for a while. So let's get out of this location, I'm pretty sure. I suppose let me just verify that that's accurate. No, we may actually be wanting to take it from here because I'm not seeing any note on the map, so let me take a look. Alright, well this is concerning because it's not really giving me a location. Oh, I see DPD, it is giving. Okay, it's just literally right there. I didn't realize it was that close. Alright. Like, it's not showing me on the map where I need to go, but... Whoa, I didn't see the light there. That does not help. 130 euros is not how I wanted to start this, but... I don't know how I didn't see the light right there. Alright, here is DPD.
This is where it ends.
Looks like they're cleaning here this morning. Alright, there we go. So we're going to take this job.
Let's do this.
And I'm guessing I can go either way. It's on this side of the building, so we'll head to the left. Just make sure we don't see anything concerning down there. Looks good. A lot of air cooling units along the edge of the building there. And there is, well, it's actually a lot more in the center, but yeah, this was certainly a better way to go than weaving around. Somehow I missed the little yellow piece over there. I'm trying to intentionally come in at an angle here, knowing that I need to turn to the left here to get out.
Time to get the job done.
So 4 hours, 4 minutes before I need to rest. 5 hours and 4 minutes before I get there, according to this. So we're likely going to need to rest on the way. We have 21 hours and 40 minutes to get there. Let me reset this. Again, 336 kilometers is what it is reporting here. I'm assuming we're going to have to turn left because we can't really go anywhere by turning right. So let's kind of position ourselves for this. Take a look down the road. I think we're okay here. Alright. Hopefully that car that's coming will yield to us. They seem to want to run into the side of us far, far too often. Alright. Oh, I wish if I had known they were turning, I would have done something different, because, yeah, once again, the light's green, and, oh no, the turn arrow is green.
And then turn right.
So I was like, we're going to miss the light, but we're actually okay here.
Turn right.
Looks like a Mazda in front of us. I don't know with the traffic mods how realistic they are on what vehicles show up. I assume that they do a good job.
Keep right, and then turn right.
Alright, we will do that. So I'm assuming we're
right.
getting on right here. And that has now removed my question. A little tight on the sign back there. All these tight roads, as I've said, definitely make it a challenge on some of the European access and so forth. So once we get moving, then I think we'll be able to let things go for a bit as far as the thought pattern of where everything is moving.
Keep right, and then turn right.
Really? So now we need to exit immediately. Okay.
Turn right.
Just make sure, again, we've talked about this before, where sometimes the mod is not right, but no, that appears to be where it wants us to go. Or not the mod, the GPS working with Promods or any map updates. It's sometimes guiding us, and then suddenly we follow the verbal directions and get a recalculating, which suddenly puts us in danger of not being able to appropriately finish. Alright, I don't really need a rest stop yet, but I'm hoping to see one shortly by, say, 9 a.m. 10 a.m. would be good. Other than that, it's a little too early. Alright, let me move over to the right lane here. But hopefully we've got a little ways, and they tend to be rest stops near the toll spots, I've discovered, as I go here through Europe. So one of the things I've been trying to determine is, since the last time I've gotten in the truck here, there's been some news on the Promods front. They've released something called the Great Steps, which I took a look at, and it looks like it's kind of in the Kazakhstan area, so more further east than any of the maps I have at this point, south of Russia, but it's not actually connected. You can run it together with Promods, but you're either just quick traveling over, or you're having to use other mods to get over there. So at this point for this series, I think I'm going to forego that. Well, I am going to forego that, I don't think, because even quick traveling, which I may need to do with the 2.64 update for Promods, which is also out, and what I'm trying to determine there is there anything there, or is that simply the version they've released
Keep right,
to allow
and then exit
compatibility
right.
with the Great Steps, so that if I don't use the Great Steps, there's no reason I need it, because I'm almost certain if I update to Promods 2.64 from 2.63 that I'm on now, it's going to put me back to my home garage in Germany, and then to continue where I'm at here, then I would have to quick travel out here, and that just gives us a hit that I'd prefer to avoid if there isn't a compelling reason to do it. You know, it's one thing if SCS releases a new version of the game, and then Promods does have to be updated in that case to work properly, and we have no choice for that. And I think that's probably coming up imminently, so I'd hate to have to do a couple quick travels, so I may skip this Promods update as well, and just stick with what I've got and what's working right now until I have to change. Alright, so here we are checking documents at the border. We do have some rest time. You know, I probably should do it, because I think, you know, we're going to have to check documents again. We're not quite at 9, but we might be a lot closer to that than I think by the time we even get over there. Although I think the checkpoint might be after the rest area,
Keep right,
so maybe not.
and then exit right.
Because it looks like now we're going into Republika,
Exit
so
right.
Croatia here. But I don't think I have, yeah, the rest point is ahead of time. But my problem is, you know, between all of this, I'm losing a good amount of time. I'm gonna rest here. I just think pressing it is gonna be a little bit foolish and not really something I wanna contend with. Alright, there we go. So I won't pull in too much, because we're gonna have to turn back to the right. Yes, unfortunately, the way the game works... So we paid our loan while we were resting, by the way. 257 euros come out of the account, so that's our daily payment on our really, really long-term loan here. But now we have 9 hours where we were reset, but even just pulling away and getting here, we've already taken 10 minutes, so that was kind of my point. It is so hard to figure out where to position myself here without hitting the gate. But yeah, now we're basically at 9 o'clock, and well, we would have been, and we still haven't left. So and then trying to get to the next thing, I think would have just been too much. So we've still got 4 in-game hours. Means we're gonna get there in the dark, unfortunately. Again, that's a lot of what we've got going on here, is just trying to keep moving, because I couldn't rest twice and get there on time, because this does have an urgent delivery, or an important delivery. I don't think it's urgent. It's not the top level. So this is telling me 12 more minutes at this point. Alright, at some point, one of these, that might be my goal for this episode, is see if I can stop at a toll booth once. Some of it is, I keep forgetting the European trucks have the flat faces. They don't have the nose that sticks out like the American trucks. So I think I'm just kind of defaulting to that, which is obviously causing me a challenge here. Alright. So heading through a tunnel, which makes sense. The last time as we were driving through, we had quite a few tunnels as well, but this now looks pretty flat in the landscape, so I'm assuming that's where we'll end up. I can go quicker. I had my cruise set pretty low because with all of the checkpoints coming up right away, I kind of got distracted with setting up my controls on my truck, and more with obviously driving safely and not worrying about things. Now if I have to go to the right, we do see there's some rest stops there, but it's not telling me anything about that, so I'm assuming we're just continuing on. Now it's possible we'll see rest stops on this road past the interchange as well. But at this point we're another half hour along over where we were before. This is a really interesting setup here, but I think that's just because of how the interchange comes together. This seems really fast for this turn. Alright. Again, that's some of the challenge with some of the mods, is sometimes you get a little bit of a speed mismatch between what's safe and what the mod is telling you you're allowed to proceed at. Okay, so Zagreb, big city that we're headed toward. I think at this point I can safely move over to the right. Another complicated interchange, kind of par for the course. So I am glad I stopped now, because now we're nearly an hour later. There's a rest stop in a direction we're not even going. So in hindsight, the strategy worked out well. I don't know when I'm driving a truck that I'd really call it, that it's proper to call it a strategy, but that's the word that came out. So I guess it's out there, it's recorded. That's what we're going with for this episode. And it is a little bit of a strategy, because after all, we are playing a sim. This isn't real life, and I suppose even if it was real life, I'm making a decision about how to effectively move and meet the requirements of my customer, who wants me to get there in a certain period of time. Alright, so a lot of interchanges now that we can't use. But the good news is we're definitely moving along at a good pace here, now that we're not having to stop for any kind of tolls or anything like that. Traffic's pretty light, but it is getting pretty late on a Wednesday. I mean, we're talking about 8 p.m. now. We've got 3 hours to go, so that means unless we change time zones, we're going to be getting there at about 11 p.m., so it'll be pretty late. All right, Budapest is to the right. So, not getting anything from our GPS yet, so we'll just continue on. And I'm thinking that's going to just head over here to the right. We're not going to deal with that interchange at all. Sicek is the town straight ahead here that we're headed toward. Alright, we're still at 80. I just saw 130 on the roadside signs, but that may be the cars and so forth. Speaking of really high speed, I've read somewhere recently that it looks like that the Autobahn in Germany may finally be getting speed limits. I think just with the changes in culture and time and so forth, kind of the unbridled go at your own pace and own risk has become something that isn't sitting well, at least with the people in power. You know, I've not seen anything about the feedback from the general population or anything. So yeah, this is finally where we're at, but this is now 2 hours later. No, none of those are open. So let me, at this point, I'm just going to go here. I guess that one to the right is open, so I could have gone by. Just trying to learn the easiest way. Now this one I should be able to hit pretty cleanly because it's far away. So this is just giving us a... I think it took it. Why is it not opening? Oh, this was getting me extremely concerned. I'm like, am I stuck here in a lane that I can't get out of? So there is a truck to the right now, several of them coming out of that automated lane that would have helped a lot more. So now we are getting to twilight hours of the day. A little bit further than halfway there. So I think we've done well, considering some of the jobs we've had here in Europe have been a lot more exiting and slowing down than they have been driving. So this has started to work out pretty nicely. Some of it may be the area we're now at. We're kind of in, you know, again, Croatia and in those spaces, instead of, I think, what at least Western societies thinking of as what is Europe. These are the lesser known countries that we're now into, and so I think they just don't have as much infrastructure, which might mean they need fewer tolls, which is a good thing for a delivery operator like me who just makes money when the wheels are spinning versus when they're not. And the faster they spin, the faster I make money. Because once again, we're getting paid, what was it, 1.63 euros per kilometer? So every kilometer that goes by, that bank ticks up a little bit. Well, it gets me closer to the payday as the actual setup of it, but in principle, that's what's happening. Alright, well now we're definitely at the point, we're definitely in dusk now. I wouldn't call this twilight anymore, man. I don't know. You know, oh boy, what's the real definition? I love buses that just choose to stop in the middle of the road. I'm glad I was able to avoid any kind of a wreck there. I don't know what was happening. I was expecting some sort of an exit.
Right, and then exit right.
Alright, speaking of an exit, I guess this is what we're doing here.
Exit right.
So Banja Luka, I think, was on that sign. That is where we're delivering. I thought it said Just Group, but I think maybe it's Jost Group, J-O-S-T. Alright. Just Just wanted to be careful. The last thing I want again is an accident. That truck is coming up pretty fast. So obviously we've got the toll to pay as we get off the toll road here. Alright, he's gone through, so oh no, he hasn't. Shoot. I guess I could have moved over, but here now we'll wait our turn and be a little bit patient. I'm really bad at that. Alright, 13 euros. So I think we've only had 16 euros of tolls. It's not been too bad.
Turn left.
Alright, and there we go, Banja Luka. So, I was to think of other foreign languages I know. Banja sounds like bath a little bit. I wonder if that is what the name of the town is. Something about a bath. The lunar baths? Moon bath? I don't know. Well, it's Luca, not Luna. I don't know. Don't know what I was thinking.
Turn right.
Alright, so we need to go down the truck lane, because this is sometimes where I mess up. I'm like, oh, I can go straight. And then that's where I would get to a gate, and nothing would happen, because there's nothing set up to trigger over there, because this is a truck simulator, not a traffic simulator. So it's not a full open world. Well, I'm still terrible at doing this here, so still have not hit a border patrol. Looks like I get one more chance at least, because we are only 72 kilometers away, so I imagine that we've got to get into the country here, but then that will be it. But someone should hopefully be happy. Alright, yeah, we've got to yield. Alright, goodbye Croatia is what that sign said. I kind of caught it out of the corner of my eye. Hopefully you were able to see it, maybe because you weren't driving and you were able to look around a little more. But again, this is where I really don't know the geography that well. And I don't know the flags for certain, so I'm not sure where we're headed here. Bosnia, maybe? Yep, Bosnia-Herzegovina. Just getting a little bit worried there. Alright, let's try it. So the problem is you touch the brake and I didn't stop though, so I did it right this time. But I was commenting, you just touch the brake and it just comes to a complete stop. But luckily it didn't. Alright, we're now at 10:13. Kind of running the risk of maybe not being able to quite make it. I mean, we're not going to make it before 11, but we might not even make it on Wednesday. We'll see how it all goes.
Get ready to turn right.
Alright. So again, we can see E661 Banja Luka is where we are needing to go. God, those poles are close.
Turn left.
With these turns, really can't go any other way per the restrictions that I've got.
Get ready
Alright,
to turn right.
and obviously at this point, unless we're just going to circle around and go back the way we
Turn
came,
right.
we have to turn right. Alright, it's just a yield, it isn't a stop, so just took that sign out, so now no one else will know it's a yield. This yacht is a bit of a challenge to maneuver with, I will tell you that.
Get ready to turn left.
So we've got a petrol station there on the right, but we're still over half
Turn
full, so I think we're good, but I've kind of gone back and forth because, hold on, hitting buttons and then panicking a bit, so that was what the pause was about. I apologize for that. But I don't think I affected everything. It was the cruise control speed as I thought about it. That's what was my hesitation. My brain was suddenly in panic mode, like what does that button do that I had hit? But I have that programmed to be a... Yeah, it looks like I disabled the cruise control though, but don't really need it
Keep
now.
right.
So keep right, but that's just to get over the bridge. So I did think there was a lot of wiggling around here at the end. And so this is once again where it becomes the typical situation where it tells me, oh, it's just going to be 12 minutes. But we need to know whatever sim dashboard is letting me know is wrong. Because this is Europe and there's just a lot of turning and stopping and
Keep left.
tolling.
And then turn left.
A lot of ings are happening.
Turn left.
Alright. A little bus there. Make sure. Oh boy. Alright. Give ourselves enough of a swing here. I hope that gets us clear of that truck. Alright. We're good. And more tolling, as I was just talking about. But you can see we're already at 11:15. I think we've literally gone 20 kilometers in the last hour. So it's been a significant slowdown in the pace as to how progress is being made. So this one says, I guess it's ENP. I thought it was EXP, like Express, but so maybe that just means I need a card. There's no person in it. Don't know. Alright. So here's E661 that we were being asked to go to get to town. And Banja Luka's straight ahead, so we don't exit here. And I'm assuming the next exit we will, however, because this is a pretty big interchange, and we're down to about 25 kilometers to go. So I think we're going to have to get there and head over. Ooh, another toll before we do that. Not a surprise, I suppose. I was wondering, is it in the tunnel? No, but I think we do get out. But obviously, let's be careful here, because we've got a lot of cars ahead of us, and we'll just follow this car. No, we'll go over here. He's getting through faster, and then I don't have to worry about something coming up on my right side. Now, I gotta be careful not to go too far. There we go. Alright, €2. I can handle that. Alright, there's a truck. I knew there was some movement to the left of me there. I had caught that out of the corner of my eye. There's the bus. So wow, like right in between two tunnels. That is interesting. I wonder if it's like train tracks or something above it, because that would seem a little bit more like that would be the infrastructure that you'd be dealing with, is a couple different train trestles is what the real word is. I was going to say passovers too, and then it became that jumble that you heard. So I apologize for my brain and my mouth not working appropriately together. Cooperation is key, and sometimes it just doesn't happen between my brain and my speech. But there is the flag. This will be our exit, I think. Is it really not our exit? It really isn't. Okay. Silly me. So let me continue. I mean, I think I could have gotten off there, but why would I do that if this is a better route? And I'm assuming it is, or our helpful navigational aid would not be taking us this way. It's kind of the debate or discussion I always have with my wife, who's like, why is it taking you this way? I don't know, but if I am relying on the technology, I probably should listen to it to some degree, as long as I'm not certain it's causing me certain doom or something. Like obviously if it's go straight and the road is closed, that would be different.
Exit now.
But that's not what it's asking us to do. And so I'm sure, just to avoid maybe an intersection with lights over there in the center of town or whatever, that's why I've gone this way. The bigger issue is it going to discover Banja Luka? Because right
At the
now
roundabout,
it doesn't
take the
appear
second
to
exit.
have done that. So that is a little concerning, because once again,
Exit now.
that could become a challenge for
Keep right.
taking a load
and
from
then
here.
turn right.
That would be really
Turn
disappointing. Alright, so I need to turn to get into that. It's like a joint drop location as well, because there's a company right up front, like CCC or GGG. Can't quite make it out on the mini map or my GPS screen there. But then Elaine is over there to the left, so it almost looks like this is a train setup. Oh no, this is just
Get
a road
ready to turn left.
with two different companies on the road.
Turn
Interesting.
left.
Alright, so here we go.
We are finished.
And then somewhere, probably right on the other side of the wall, excuse me, as always, we'll be parking. Alright. And they've got all this room, but they need it between those two trailers. Why would they make it easy for me? That wouldn't be any logic, right? Goodness gracious. Let me pull forward a bit more if I can. So I think every little bit I have is going to be important here. Because I don't think these trailers... Oh no, it does, the wheels do turn, so that helps, certainly. Because otherwise I was like, I'm not sure that I'm going to get the right approach angle here, but I think I'll be alright. Looks like we're lined up in the space pretty nicely. Continue to move over a bit. Now I've got to quickly swing the other... Whoop, not that quickly though, because I don't want to suddenly leave the space. But there we go. Alright, probably one of the best jobs I've done in a while, with it challenging between the trailers parking. Alright, 337, so 1 extra kilometer than we expected. Good amount of experience, and not quite there. Next time, maybe, we'll rank up, which helps with all these bonuses and so forth, and, you know, they add up. 21 euros, you know, and the proficiency bonus will increase as well, but 21 euros against 500 is... It's a 5% bonus, so it's not nothing. Alright, our 7-day profit, that is always what I'm keeping an eye on. So 8,773 euros. So, and our loan is only costing us 257 each time. So let's see, we've still got over 2,000, well over 2,000 days to go. So, as you can see, we've got long times to go for and get things paid off, but that's how it works with real economy. So, thanks for tagging along again. If you've enjoyed the ride, I would appreciate it if you'd hit the like button. That'll help distribute the videos and get more people aware and hopefully following along as we work to continue to grow the channel to get more commentary and more interactions. I know that's got to be a lot more fun for people to be able to talk with each other and so forth. So I'm hoping to build a community, and those likes will help, as well as subscribing. So if you haven't done that, please consider that. I'd greatly appreciate it. Thanks for following along, and I'll see you next time.